Safety, Comprehensive Guide to Element 11, Paper 2. Welcome to Phani EHS Info. In this video, we'll focus on Element 11, Fire Safety. In Element 11, we'll explore fire hazards and the essential measures needed to prevent and control fires in the workplace. We'll provide an overview of this element and highlight key exam questions to help you prepare effectively for NEBOSH IGC Paper 2. Fire hazards. Let's start with fire hazards. Identifying sources of ignition, fuel, and oxygen is crucial as these elements form the fire triangle. Understanding how these components interact helps us grasp how fires start and spread. By recognizing potential sources of ignition and ensuring adequate control of fuel and oxygen, we can significantly reduce fire risks. Fire risk assessment. Next, we discuss fire risk assessment. Conducting thorough fire risk assessments allows us to identify and evaluate fire risks in the workplace. Implementing control measures, such as installing fire detection and suppression systems, is key to managing these risks. Regular assessments ensure that fire safety measures are up to date and effective. Emergency procedures. Finally, let's cover emergency procedures. Developing and practicing fire emergency plans is essential for ensuring that everyone knows what to do in the event of a fire. Effective evacuation routes and clearly marked assembly points are crucial for a safe and orderly evacuation. Identify 8 common causes of fires in a workplace. Naked flames, from smoking materials, cooking appliances, heating appliances, and process equipment. External sparks, from grinding metals, welding, impact tools, and electrical switch gear. Internal sparking, from faulty or normal electrical equipment, machinery, and lighting. Hot surfaces, from lighting, cooking, heating appliances, process equipment, poorly ventilated equipment, faulty or badly lubricated equipment, hot bearings, and drive belts. Static electricity, causing high voltage sparks from unwinding plastic, pouring flammable liquids, walking across insulated floors, or removing synthetic overalls. Chemicals, storage of incompatible substances, improper handling such as recapping containers giving off flammable vapor. Housekeeping, allowing flammable materials to accumulate in risky areas. Waste storage and disposal, flammable waste not placed in lidded containers and not emptied regularly. Identify the key components of the fire triangle. Fuel, oxygen, heat. Identify sources of ignition that may cause a fire to occur and give a typical workplace example of each. Electricity, arcing or overheating due to faulty wiring, example, overloaded sockets. Chemical reactions, spontaneous combustion, example, chemical reactions in storage. Hot work, welding or cutting, example, metal grinding. Friction, inadequate lubrication, example, machinery with unlubricated bearings. Hot surfaces, cooking appliances, example, hot stoves. In relation to the classification of fires, give an example of a material, fuel, that falls within the classes A, B, C, and D. Class A, wood, Class B, petrol, Class C, LPG, Class D, sodium. Explain, using a suitable sketch, the significance of the fire triangle. The fire triangle consists of 3 elements, fuel, heat, and oxygen. Removing any one of these elements will extinguish the fire. For example, cooling, remove heat. Starving, remove fuel. Suffocation, smothering, remove oxygen. Explain why water should not be used on fires involving electrical equipment. Water conducts electricity, and using it on live electrical fires poses a severe risk of electrical shock. Identify 3 methods of heat transfer and explain how each can cause the spread of fire. Conduction, heat moves through materials, example, metal pipes, and ignites nearby combustibles. Convection, hot air rises, spreading fire through gaps and potentially igniting materials in the path. Radiation, heat waves emitted from a hot surface, example, red-hot metal, can ignite nearby materials. Outline measures that should be taken to minimize the risk of fire from electrical equipment. Disconnection of equipment when not in use. Regular visual inspection by users. Use suitable equipment for tasks. Frequent maintenance by competent persons. Improve protection, example, RCD. Maintain good housekeeping. Staff awareness and training. Identify the issues to consider for the location of an assembly point for use in a workplace evacuation. Unenclosed, safe distance from building. Accessibility from final exits. Marked and signposted. Not obstructing emergency services or at risk from traffic. Identify the types of fire and extinguishers. Class A, solid materials, wood, paper, extinguished by water. Class B, liquids or liquefied solids, paint, oil. B1, soluble in water, by carbon dioxide, dry powder, water spray. B2, not soluble, by foam, carbon dioxide, dry powder. Class C, gases, natural gas, butane, extinguished by foam or dry powder with cooling. Class D, metals, aluminium, magnesium, extinguished by special dry powder extinguishers. Class F, high temperature cooking oils, kitchens, designated extinguishers. Electrical fires, use carbon dioxide or dry powder extinguishers. Outline factors to be considered when carrying out a fire risk assessment of a workplace. Identify hazards, sources of ignition, combustibles, and oxygen sources. Identify people at risk, employees, disabled, children. Evaluate and reduce risks, eliminate hazards, replace flammable materials, safe smoking policies. Implement fire safety measures, controls for remaining risks. Outline the hazards to which workers in the fire and rescue service could be exposed while attending emergencies. Exposure to fire, heat, smoke, fumes, and toxic gases. Falls from heights and structural collapse. Contact with electricity and explosions. Moving equipment hazards and traffic risks. Stress and potential attacks. The manager of an industrial unit containing a number of offices and workshops has just completed a risk assessment and is to develop a fire plan. Identify the factors that should be addressed in the fire plan. Actions on discovering a fire. Alarm system and notification procedures. Escape routes and signage. Firefighting equipment and training. Assembly points and roll call procedures. Responsibilities of marshals and wardens. Arrangements for disabled and non-workers. Shutdown and isolation procedures. Coordination with employers. Employers. List 8 ways of reducing the risk of a fire starting in a workplace. Maintain and inspect electrical equipment. Reduce storage of flammable materials. Control ignition sources. Proper smoking controls. Maintain good housekeeping. Regular maintenance of machinery. Proper storage of flammable liquids and gases. Identify the 4 methods of heat transfer and explain how each can cause the spread of fire. Convection, hot air rises, spreading fire through structures and igniting new areas. Conduction, heat travels through materials, potentially igniting nearby combustibles. Radiation, direct heat waves can ignite materials at a distance. Direct burning, combustibles in contact with flames spread fire. Identify two ways in which an alarm can be raised in the event of a fire. Automatic methods, example, smoke detectors. Manual methods, example, break glass alarms. Visual alarms, example, flashing lights. Human voice. Identify the issues to consider in the selection and siting of portable fire extinguishers. Type of extinguisher relative to fire class. Number of extinguishers based on premises size and number of floors. Accessibility and visibility. Proximity to exits. Travel distance to extinguisher under 25 m. Mounting and protection from damage. Outline the requirements to ensure the safe evacuation of persons from a building in the event of fire. Adequate fire identification and alarm systems. Warning devices and emergency lighting. Effective signage. Protected and unobstructed escape routes. Regular drills and practice. Capacity of exit routes and doors. Fire marshals wardens. Availability of fire extinguishers. Facilities for disabled individuals. Realistic travel distances to safety. State the normal requirements with regards to workplace emergency exits and routes. Adequate dimensions and capacity based on risk assessment. Doors must open easily and in the direction of escape. Emergency signage and lighting must be functional. Escape routes must be clear and lead directly to safety. Exits and routes must be clearly identifiable. Thanks for watching. For important questions and answers, and to learn about the remaining elements of NEBOSH IGC, please subscribe and follow my channel.
This is all about today's topic. Thanks for watching Phani EHS Info. And don't forget to subscribe our channel to get immediate notification of our videos. Share our videos to your friends and colleagues to create safety awareness. If you have any questions and require